Hey guys, welcome back to Pharaoh Iron and Customs. I'm Michael, and today we're back working on the 50 Ford. We're getting into a part that I have been really excited about, which is getting the suspension done. Moreover, putting the C-notches in the rear for the rear end. We may get to the front. I hope we get to the front before Sunday's video, or before the end of this video rather. So I've had someone post a comment that they would like to see more of the action. So we're going to try to get more of the action in there. I'll do more of the talking while the action's going on. And just to show you what I've gotten going on so far, I came out here Sunday and did a little bit of cleaning. I need to do a whole lot more cleaning. But I've got the bags sorted. They're going to end up on top of the axles rather than on top of the A-arms because of the shape of the chassis, and I would have to heavily modify the chassis underneath the seat area, and anyway, I just don't really want to do that, so they'll end up being on the top. I'm probably not going to use 2,600 bags in the back. I'm going to use 2,500 bags. They make a 2,500 denominator 2 bag, which has I think it's somewhere close to 8 or 9 inches of lift. So I'm pretty sure that's what I'm going to go with, those bags maybe in the back, but we're going to see what the regular 2,500 bags do. I don't know if I'm going to have room for the 26s in the front because of the shape of the A-frame, so I may have to reshape the A-frame to put the 26s in the front. I think I have another set of 2,500 bags that are not, they're the spring bags and not these bags. And I'll explain to you that when we get my hands on the other set of bags, what the difference is. And, you know, honestly, when I got them, I didn't know. But, so we're going to get into this. I still have the right wheel tub to take out. And hopefully tonight, that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to let this camera get a little bit of charge. And we're going to set up, and I'm going to give y'all some action shots of drilling some spot welds out and finishing. I've got to finish grinding through that corner right there, and I've got to finish taking off the bracket at the front. So we're going to get into it. Alright guys, I'm going to just try to find these spot welds. What I'm going to do on this fender well, since I got to rebuild this piece anyway, I'm going to go on and cut it out. I'll try to cut the spot welds out and remove it. And how did I cut the other one out? Well, some of them's going to have to be cut down here anyway. I may cut these, try to cut the asphalt, the insulation off the inside of it, and get those from the inside so we don't upset the metal on the inner fender well that we're trying to keep. Like I said, I'm going to rebuild this one, and we're not going to need any of it. Alright, the metal in this is actually really good. I don't need to replace probably but that much of it, but if you have to make this panel down here, you might as well make the whole thing and go with new metal. So, I mean, that's just my opinion. If you want to do something different with your car, that is for you to decide. So we got welds we got to get from down here. And I stopped and got some small drill bits. You need a little small pilot hole for this spot weld cutter so it doesn't walk all over the place. And we've got welds there. I think there's a weld there and there. There's 1, 2 there. I expect, yeah, nothing. There may be one, there's one right there that's attached. And it depends on how bad, and maybe one there. And all the rest, and there are several right here where this mount is, I think there's probably 1, 2, 3. There's probably one, and the way they welded these things, it looked like, I don't know, it looks like a Monday job to me. So, you know, Monday. Still hungover from the weekend. The jump cord was down here the whole time. Anyway, I guess we're gonna fight with the light. I need to get a different light for the shop, and maybe that will be something coming up. I'm not sure if there is one there or not. It looks like there should be, but that would, Let's drill these out and see what happens. That thing will load up with just like a circle cutter will, and you'll have to take it out. So if I keep recording all of this, it's gonna make for a really long video. I'm gonna work on this, and when we get around to the other side, I'll come back, and because I want this video to be mostly about making these wheel arches. So anyway, let me get this thing out and I'll come back. Alright guys, it's Friday. I didn't do much yesterday, but I've got out here, I started painting the rims to go on the car, and I've got under here and started kind of marking out where things need to go. I'm leaving enough room on the back side of the C-notch for the caliper to clear, and I'm marking out what the thickness of the chassis is. I may go slightly thicker here. I've gone in here on the front and marked my line. 4 inches back from the mounting point here is where the post goes up where the back seat fits. So this point from 4 inches, and this is 5 inches back. I went ahead and set it 5 inches back. And so I got me enough room in here for some room between the chassis and the sheet metal when I make the sheet metal come down to where it meets the floor, if that makes any sense. Other things you got to think about, I stuck the emergency brake cable in so I could get an idea about where the emergency brake cable is going to fit. I think I'm going to be able to get it to fit fine just around the C-notch without a problem. I created a level line on my pattern, and I'm going to go ahead, it was going to be 5, I'm going to go ahead and go up 6 inches to give myself extra clearance. And so I'm going to pull this pattern down, I'm going to get on the table, we're going to draw this up, and then we're going to hopefully start cutting some C-notches out. Alright guys, we got the pattern made. Glenn's over here helping me in my shop this afternoon, doing a little bit of cutting. We're cutting this out of a old battery case that come off of a pallet jack. We'll be back in a minute. Alright guys, I didn't really go over making this, but what I did was I found where I wanted to start and end, and I made it a little thicker at the bottoms. Brought the end, you can see where I worked myself in to get it the shape that I wanted, because I could take a little bit from the front. I actually went further back on the back, and I came a little further forward on the front, and just rounded off the edges to make it look nice. Now, for this, C-notch doesn't have to be this tall to clear the axle. I mean, the axle realistically probably is only going to come this high. I may even be able to get the bag underneath the notch. So we'll just see whenever we get that far, but I had to make the notch this high to clear the brakes, and I figure if I'm going to make, there's no need of me bending this part down because it's right behind the seat. You know, you won't be able to store anything there anyway, so make it nice and flat. And if there's enough room, I may put the tank for the airbags there, or I may put like a speaker box there or something. But once I make this part of the floor in the trunk, it'll be nice and flat and it won't be a weird shape that we wouldn't be able to get any more, you know, trunk storage, and I'm not really going to haul anything in the car anyway. So I'm going to set up the camera. I'm going to do a little filming of cutting this out, and I've got to cut 2 more of them out. I was going to make a pattern and use the plasma cutter, but I think the zip cut does, you know, I've started with the zip cut, so I'm going to finish with the zip cut, if that makes any sense. Alright guys, I got all this all marked up. I don't think I mentioned this is, yeah, I may have mentioned this is a battery case for an industrial battery. The steel is 10 gauge, or actually it's 11, which is the same gauge as what the chassis on the car is. I would have liked for it to have been 10 or maybe even 3/8, but it's what I've got. Once we get it boxed in, it's going to be plenty strong enough, and I'm going to come back and add some gussets and some support, so no worries there. I think this is going to be plenty strong enough. Like I said, the car is made out of the same stuff, so I mean the chassis on the cars, oops, I ain't going to cut it with the stone. Get the zip cut put in, and it's got this powder coating on it that's really thick that made me think the metal that was thicker than what it is. You can see how actually thick that is. We're going to have to get that off. I'll show you how I did that. I'll do a little cutting on this one and cut it out. I laid the pattern backwards on this side because it has a support in the middle of this, and I didn't want to bother with, you know, cutting those little, grinding those down smooth, so I'd have, I don't know if you can see that. So I'm gonna grind it down some, but I don't want it to be on the outside of the chassis. So we're gonna cut this out. Okay, I'm going to finish cutting that out and we'll come back. Alternately, I could have made a template and used the plasma cutter to cut it out. It would have cut a whole lot faster, but we did the first one with the zip cut, so I'm going to do them all with the zip cut. Alright guys, this is all I'm doing to get this powder coating off of it. I'm just taking a handheld propane torch and heating it. And since it's yellow, you can start seeing it when it starts turning a little slightly different color. And last night when I was messing around cleaning the other piece, you could, if you got it too hot, it would, well, if you got it nice and hot, it would come off really easy. If you got it just right, it would roll up, it would just roll off almost. And there you go. Just, like I said, just pretty much heat it up and it rolls right off. And I know I'm scraping boards myself, and I'll probably regret that at some point. So. Alright guys, I got the notches cut out and cleaned up. I'm just going to clean up the chassis where the notches are going to weld to. Okay, so can y'all see any of that? Alright, so what I'm doing is I'm finding my hole and I'm going ahead and moving myself 5 inches ahead of the hole. We're going to go right to the edge of the hole and mark it at 5. All you can see is my arm. So that's 5. Alright. We want to make sure that we go 1 inch ahead of that is where the back of the seat is going to be. We want to go up to the top and mark down what approximately where the line is going to be for the back of the the wall between the seat and the passenger compartment. The name is I can't bring the name to thought right this moment. So, all right, we're going to bring this back into place, and that should line up about there. Okay, that looks better. I was kind of tripping out a while ago because I didn't have it in there like it ought to be. Let me clip this into place. I'll be right back. Alright guys, somehow I got the cut line off on this bottom. I'm not going to stress over it too much. We'll cut it off. Cut here and we'll be ready to put the bottom on. But I'm going to put a couple of good tacks to hold this in place. We're going to go get the other side put on and leveled up. Yeah, we'll have to drop the axle to get to those. Okay. So I'm going to get the other side put on and leveled up and tacked into place just like this, and then we can start building the whole assembly, and I'll start adding each piece and make sure that they line up completely parallel with the other side, or you know, the legs of it line up within plane of each other. I'll take a piece of a straight edge and lay across there, make sure they're all where they're supposed to be. So let me get the other side installed and I'll come back. Alright, I'll get those back ones and I'll come back. Alright guys, I've got them welded in, and the best I can tell they're in the same plane all the way around. Now what I'm going to do is I need to make a template, and I have just about run out of cardboard here. So I'm going to put a little extra because I'm going to put a little extra here because I want to run this down to meet the chassis here. So what I'm going to do is mark. I'm going to try to line up this edge. Just use the straight edge of the piece of cardboard. Up. And I've only got one of those situations where I need 3 hands. Up. And up. Did I put any of that where I could see it? I did. Alright, just going to cut that out. I got a bunch of marks on here from a previous video where I was talking about the amount of movement of the pinion during travel on this axle, and honestly it's been so long since I did that video that I don't remember enough to talk intelligently about what was in it. Okay, so we want it to overlap. We want the edges to overlap so we can get good penetration down in the edge. Not overlap, but just the corners, the 90-degree part, so the corners touch each other, so you can get good penetration in the make sure the metal is attached. So let's see. That looks like that is probably good, and we're gonna see how far we can go. We want to create ourselves a little, like I said, just a little, we want to create ourselves a little tab down here so we can put in that little bit of extra weld right in that area to help make sure it doesn't go anywhere. Just slightly what I like to call over-engineering. Alright guys, I got a piece cut out here. And I just cut it out with a plasma. You can see I messed up right there, but we can fill that gap with weld. But I am getting better with using a ruler and cutting straight lines, so, you know, life's a learning process. So what I'm going to do is tack this into place. Try to get it lined up the best I can. Tack it into place. Where's my ground? Ground is not attached. Ground is now attached. Make sure we're flush. I'm going to kill my bubble before it's over with, folks. Alright, I'm going to put another tack. We'll take it. Clamp or something. I don't have enough strength to pull that down. Don't think I'm going to be able to get one of the pairs of vice grips to pull it. The unfortunate thing about working inside this car like this is you got to get in and out of it to do anything. Let's see. I don't think There we go. All right. All right, that's not going anywhere. Where did my hammer go? Bend that edge down to meet that where the frame is actually put together like this. It's two C channels put together. Just get that gap a little closer. And that ought to make that nice and tight. We'll get up here and start tacking where it touches. Where it touches. Where it touches. Where it touches. And that's all I'm going to do with that. I mean, I'm going to do the front, all four corners, and that's how we're going to do that. And then all I'll have left to do is a filler piece to go in the middle. I may get the old slice and dice and cut that off some. I'm not going to weld anything solid until I get I'm not going to weld anything solid until I get all the pieces put in up, and then we'll weld everything up. And this is probably as far as I'm going to go today. I'm going to work for a little while longer. I've got this piece made. I'm going to get it made, and don't know if I'll get the back two pieces made today or not. We're coming up on Thanksgiving weekend or Thanksgiving week, so you know, family stuff. But I'm going to work for a little while longer, and then I'll come back. Alright guys, I got it that far along. Got the right side tacked into place in the front. Don't have the pieces made for the back. And that's all I've got time for this week's video. I'll get back in here and get started on it on tomorrow probably. And like I said, that's it. Y'all leave a like and subscribe, leave a comment down below, even if it's just a suggestion. You know, I try to do better. I have actually started this week trying to take more video of the action shots. I'm, you know, trying to get what you want to see. And if you want to see something different, let me know. Right now we're working on this car, so as long as it's with the 50 and making these bags, brackets and stuff like that, and the C-notches and suspension, that's what we're doing right now. So anyway, like and subscribe. Guys, I appreciate y'all watching. I'll talk to you. I can't talk. I'll talk to y'all later.